I have a question for you. How good are you at describing people? You probably know some simple adjectives like happy, sad, shy. You might know some advanced adjectives like loquacious. But today, I want to teach you several phrases we can use to describe a person's character and personality. So, let's not waste any more time. Describing people can always be a fun thing to do. And as an English learner, I'm sure you want to know some colloquial phrases that we can use in everyday language to talk about someone. Well, I have a special guest here who's going to help me teach you how to describe certain people. Kareem? Kareem's going to describe several people that he knows, and I'm going to define those colloquial phrases that he uses. So, Kareem, tell us about the first person. After a year of working in a company, we hired a new employee named Jeff. He worked on my team, but man, he was a real pain in the neck. Jeff frequently made mistakes, and every time you tried to help him, he'd get angry at you. It's like he didn't want to learn. And on top of that, he never stopped talking. It was so difficult to focus. He was a real pain in the neck. A pain in the neck is a great phrase. It's used quite often. And in many occasions, neck can be exchanged with butt or ass. And when you describe someone as a pain in the neck, pain in the butt, pain in the ass, it means you find them to be annoying, bothersome, a nuisance. You're always trying to do something, but they continuously and effortlessly get you into trouble or cause some sort of annoyance for you. You know, because Jeff was such a chatterbox, he kind of knew all the gossip around the office. He'd frequently be by the water cooler or in the kitchen talking to people. But the thing is, he always interrupted them. He was never invited to talk. One day I was talking to my boss and he rudely interrupted us asking, "What are we talking about? Can he find out? He wants to know." It was really frustrating. He was such a busybody, now that I think of it. The phrase busybody might be self-explanatory. Busybody, maybe a person who's always occupied, a person who's always doing something, but that is actually not right. A busybody is a person who is nosy, inquisitive, always in other people's business. And it's not a good thing. Someone who's a busybody wants to know information that you probably don't feel comfortable telling them. Parents can be considered busybodies because they always ask questions about where you're going, who are you going with, what are you going to do, what time are you coming back, and, things of that liking. Okay, so let me tell you about my friend Tiffany because she is a real daredevil. You know what she did at the age of 18? She sailed around the world by herself. That is crazy. I am not brave enough to do that. And I think it was quite dangerous, but she succeeded and she's now famous. A daredevil is a great way to describe someone who likes to take lots of risks. Someone who climbs a mountain without safety can be considered a daredevil, or someone who climbs a mountain in general, in my opinion. But a daredevil doesn't necessarily have to do something big and dangerous like that. Someone who might choose to leave their comfy job and try to start their own business could be considered a daredevil because that's a very risky situation. Would you consider yourself to be a daredevil? Leave a comment below and let me know. One thing I remember about Tiffany is that she was a daydreamer. She would always kind of zone out in class, and the teachers would always tell her, "Pay attention." She told me every time she zoned out, she was dreaming about sailing around the world, starting a business, becoming a doctor. And you know what? She did all of those things. A daydreamer. I love this phrase because it really describes me in a way. A daydreamer is exactly what it sounds like. A person who dreams in the day or fantasizes a lot. It is more often used in a negative sense to describe someone who is unable to focus on something or who is unrealistic in their goals and aspirations. if you're a teacher, you've probably seen your students kind of look off into the distance and lose focus and not be aware of what's happening. That student is daydreaming. They are a daydreamer. This final person was the worst. His name was Eric, and he was my roommate. Eric was the biggest slob I've ever met in my entire life. The thing that infuriated me about Eric was that he never cleaned up after himself. He left all his dirty clothes on the floor. He never took out the garbage. I don't even recall him doing a dish. It got so bad that I eventually just moved away. I could not handle him as a roommate. A slob. A great but negative word you call someone who is dirty and unorganized and doesn't like to keep things neat. If you've ever had a roommate who never does the dishes, never vacuums, never does his laundry, and kind of leaves things just in a very dirty and unorganized state, that person is a slob, for sure. Nice work on improving your vocabulary, and to keep it up, you should also like and subscribe to my channel for more English content. You can also find me on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at the same name, KareeminmyEnglish, where I upload reels and stories quite frequently to help you improve your English. So, which word did you like the best? Leave a comment below and let us know. And everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.